Hello, my name is Martyr, and this is Let's Play Selfie, Sisters of the Amniotic Lens, and thank you for watching. Selfie is a simulator, guys, as much as it is a social experiment, and this is one of those games that I feel is open to a lot of interpretation. It's definitely a strange game. There's lots of art, and there's a message here, and it's just a very strange game. The reason I chose to do an IndieView on this game is mostly due to its unusual nature. And the idea that games can be maybe something a little bit more than just a form of entertainment. Perhaps they can be a form of therapy. Is that true? Does this game accomplish that? Well, we shall see. Selfie released on Steam May 2015. It was developed by Rail Slave Games and published by Kiss Ltd. You can go ahead and get Selfie on Steam for $4.99. Currently, it's on sale, I think, due to the summer sale, for $3.74. Now, just a quick warning before we go ahead and get into this game, guys. There is some graphic images in this game, so if that is something that you will have a problem with, you may go ahead and want to watch another video right now. Otherwise, on with the show. Now, there really isn't too many options here, guys, in the game, so I'm just going to be kind of skipping the annotation part, I think. I'm not really sure. But basically, the game kind of on startup lets you choose a resolution, lets you choose your graphical quality. It does come up to 1080p resolution. And otherwise, that's basically it as far as options goes. There's a couple of other options in the menu system itself, though. Messages, which is what you will receive from other players. And then your profile, which is what you write for other players to see. Where are players going to see this? Well, we're going to get into that in a little bit. But that's kind of it. The game does feature Steam cards. I don't think it does feature any Steam achievements, though. So without further ado, I'm going to actually go ahead and continue game and playing it for about 2 hours, I want to say. The game the story is a very strange story. It's about this girl who was snatched up by this cult. It's a lot of interpretive talk, and it's very surreal the way it describes things. It's just period a weird ass game. So, and there was morning and evening, the 6th day. Surely he is good? ? Surely he opened the ark on that day when 2 by 2 all flesh clawed and ate their way in. Eating their way through human pyramid into the matrix of Eve to escape the morning light. But he cast no shadow. He was not cursed with this coat of skin, this tent of flesh, this anchor of reality, this body of death. He holds the wheel. He did not look upon the beasts of the field and long, like Adam, to join their automated sex. He holds the wheel of the Maseroth, and with every slow and painful grind, he opens up something. I read too slowly, apparently. So this is the game right here. You're this girl right here on this particular day. And the game takes place over several days is the best way to describe it. Now, this is where things get a little bit trippy as balls. Things are getting really weird. I'm just warning you right now. This is where that little disturbing images thing comes in. Yeah, look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, that's what you think it is. At least I think it is. It kind of looks like a mannequin and somebody who's been horribly mutilated. It's a strange game, to say the least. So what is the point of this? Where are you going? What's the entire story of this game? Like I said, well, it's about a girl who's been kind of snatched up by this cult. And there's videos at the beginning of the game that kind of explain everything that's going on. For this particular part of the game, we have to turn on this TV. Why? Because that's what the game tells us to do. How do we do that? Well, you can see there's like these little flies floating around here. There's this weird device thing here. Somehow, for some reason or another, these flies are connected to this machine. So we're going to do that. Now, you can see something just happened. Well, you see that little square in the center of my screen? It's starting to fill up as I keep it moused over flies. Eventually speaking, if I can keep the friggin' mouse on them. You can also zoom in if you want, but I find it easier to just keep kind of like a broad perspective. There we go. Fantastic. Only a couple more to go here. There we go. Did I already get that one? Yes, I did. It's a little hard to tell because of the reflection of the light going on in the window there. Oh, come on. Come here, you little flies. You're making this very difficult on me. Oh, you little bastard. Alright, come on. I can get one of you. Whoa. You're being little bastards. Alright, come on. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so friggin' easy, alright? There we go, I think I got this guy. There we go, okay. So with that done now, we officially have signal from this device, which has led to this device, which has a bunch of images on it. Just for you to get a quick idea of what's around the room, there's lots of weird stuff kind of all over the place. There's needles, there's a book, and I don't know what language that is. There's lots of books, lots of strangeness going on. And that kind of covers the entire environment. There's flies hanging from fly paper on the roof, which I'm guessing is for the freaking dead body. So let's look at this thing right here, guys. Official Alley Pollocks. This is where that kind of like that art starts kind of kicking in. All these were basically made by somebody. And again, this is, I don't know if there's like a visual representation in these. I'm not really sure what the message is in these. I guess, like I said, some of it's open to interpretation. The entire game's open to interpretation. And it's just definitely a strange game here. So we're supposed to flip through these channels. I will show you how to build your own teletexts. I have no idea what that is. I'm just simply rolling my mouse wheel, by the way, just to give you an idea. Shopper Gander. Alright, 1980X. Alright. Okay, well, that looks weird, doesn't it? Oh, well, suddenly everything's different. Suddenly we're in space. Yes, this is that type of game. Okay, so now that we're kind of like in the second half of the game. And what the basic second half of the game is about is, well, you are going through these days. You'll repeat the days over and over again. What that basically means, you're going to kind of repeat these little, in a weird way, they're kind of like mini games. You're going to repeat that fly catching game. You're going to go through the space game, which I'm going to show you right now. And then you're going through the days, basically, and you're reading the text, trying to interpret the story as best you can about what happened to these girls, who did this to them, what is their fate, and things like that. It's done in a very unique way, a very striking way. I will say that much, and it's very, it kind of, it's not scary. It's shocking. It's a little bit, you're like, what the, it's just weird is the best way to describe it. So right now, we're flying towards these floating. I'm gonna guess mannequins. They're kind of like, well, this is what they use for making clothes, right? Sewing clothes. So visually speaking, definitely the game is extremely striking, for sure. Right now, by the way, we're looking to attack here, which is what we can do here. We can actually fire a laser. You can see right there. What I'm looking to attack is right there, I think. Where are you? There you are. Is that little red ball there? Yes, that little flea speck in the universe right there. That's what we're trying to attack. And we're just going to blast it. You're going to see that its health is going to start to go down and down and down. We can also charge up our little blast here, and that's going to send that ball flying off towards that mannequin. I can also roll my mouse wheel up to kind of speed up. I can roll it down to slow down, and then I kind of just float around here. So we're going to keep doing that for a while, and then you kind of repeat these two little mini games over and over again, and as you make your way through the story and see different things. But the main cool part about this game is here in the space part of the game, which I'm going to show you right now. I'm actually going to ignore that for a second. We'll finish that off, but I want to show you something else. And this, I want you to know, this may be something extremely private to somebody. So just, keep that in mind when we're about to look at right here. So there is a little floating bottle in space here. And if I were to click on it, you're going to see a message. And this message is from Angel, who has a purse of 900,592.13, something like that. Quite a bit of money. It says, sometimes I am filled with hatred, but it's very hard to read sometimes. Hold on a second. So sometimes I'm filled with hatred, but not for hatred or envious feeling for others. I only feel hatred for myself and wonder what it would be like to just end it all and no longer feel this feeling. I suppose time will tell. Only time will tell if I decide to act upon this thought. Thank you for reading. Good God in heaven. Why do we have to start with this message? Okay. Obviously, that's something deeply personal to somebody. I do not condone this type of thing. But basically, because it's a game, you have two options, okay? You can condemn that person. What this does, I don't really know. But it's an option. I guess you basically are kind of like, saying, hey, your message is crap. I don't really understand the point of the condemning part. But what I can tell you is that if you choose to free them, you can actually send a message to that person, which is what we're going to do now. So I have no idea what to say to this person, especially on camera. But I'm going to say life is precious. Life is precious, and please don't do anything reckless. You're special and important in your own unique way. I don't know what to say to this person. If that person is truly feeling this, I really hope that they obviously don't do that. But that's the type of personal things you could end up encountering in this type of game, guys. So it says, in your generosity, you have given that spirit 86,000 from your own purse, which is what is on the top left up there. You can see I have less money now. And that person is received that money, is going to receive that message. The money is completely pointless. It's just there as a means. I don't really understand what it's for, to be honest with you, but it's there for you to kind of mess around with. So you can see there's lots of little white dots everywhere, and those dots, while they may seem like stars, those are actually messages. So hopefully we're going to get one more here, and it won't be as horrific, hopefully. Maybe something, you can really type usually whatever you want. People type personal messages. I put, help, I'm trapped in a glass bottle in space. Why? Because I'm just that type of a goofball, and I don't really take myself too seriously. But you get the basic idea. This is the type of game. It aims to be a little bit therapeutic. It aims to let you in on the psyche of a human being, possibly, and what you're going to say to that person. It says, how do you let people in? That's what his message is. Well, I'm going to say we're going to be jerks. Why we're going to be jerks? Because I want to show you what happens when you're a jerk. This profile has been condemned 3 times. This is her plea. We're going to say condemn. That's it. That's all it does. There's no real point to it other than that. You're not really hurting the person. You're not really doing anything to the person. The message is gone forever, and apparently their condemnation goes up. So in that regard, that aspect of thing, that weird social aspect of thing, where people are putting such kind of personal things out there, it really is a unique game, to say the least. Because not many games do that. Not many games have the balls to kind of involve people in such an emotional way. That can be, I mean, obviously, if that person really felt what they, said earlier, that's a very traumatic and scary ass thing. And you can, perhaps say something to them that might change their mind, or, who knows what could possibly happen. I mean, ultimately, it's just text on the wall. It could be nothing. It could be something to somebody. Who knows? That's the kind of the point. That's the experimentation of this game. This is a long one. It's such a cliche and worn out topic, but I'm upset by the concept of death. I'm gonna just say you get the basic idea of the messages, guys. People will put their ideas, put their whatever they feel like they need to say out there, and it's really up to you to respond how you feel about them. So I'm gonna just hit free. I'm gonna say, oh my god, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna hit send. I think it's just a better thing to just do is just hit send and be quiet about it. So that you get the basic idea. You fly around this digital space, you answer messages, you can kind of respond to people, you can have people respond to your message, you can change your message, they can change theirs. That's kind of the social experiment aspect of things. Now the game itself, let's go ahead and pick up speed here. We're going to fly towards this mannequin here, and we're going to try to head to the next day, and you'll see what that's like in that aspect to the game. I mean, the game itself is very visually striking. The music is very well done, I feel. The controls are a little strange, but for the most part, I don't really have any problems with them. For the most part. They take a little while to get used to, and they're not very explained super well. The controls, you kind of just have to like wing it. But again, this is a game just kind of open to interpretation, so I'm not really surprised by that. There's our little ball friend. And charge it up, pow. And there we go. It should be moving along now. And it's zipped that way, so we're going to fly that way now. And I know this seems slightly repetitive. Well, after this last one, it is going to change things up. And actually, it's going to become the most hardest part of the game that I felt, because it was just freaking weird. But yeah, I mean, the game does have this kind of strange repeating gameplay aspect to it, and that is, I will say, a little strange. You kind of do the same things over and over again to the point where you get through all of the text, all of the story, and it ends, and then you basically get whatever message it is that you received from this. A game, like I said, it's a game that's very much open to interpretation. You're going to get as much from this game as much as you put into it, I feel. As a game in itself, it's very strange. It's also very minimalistic. There really isn't too terribly much to do in the grand scheme of things. It's more about what the game makes you feel. And in that regard, that's what I think makes it a very unique indie game, because it's not necessarily just based about, hit button, watch flashy things. It's about a game that makes you feel things, and it's possible it can make you feel nothing. I mean, that's also a very possibility. But if you do feel something, that's kind of a unique thing. Not many games can make an emotional response in somebody. And I think that in itself is what makes a Selfie a unique game in its nature and its creation. So now we've done this for the third time. We've basically gone through each of the mannequins, whatever you want to call them. Things are now a little different. We now have kind of like a quadrant of things that we need to fire at. If you're going to take a guess as to what those things are, if you guessed flies in space, you are correct. Congratulations. So we're going to fly our happy asses over there at high speeds, hopefully. And you'll see what I mean. We have to literally blast one of those flies to death until we can move on to the next day. And hopefully I can accomplish that fast enough. I do kind of suck. But we'll try our best here. So we're going to try to hit this. That fly's way too far away. Let's go with this guy. Oh, I missed. I suck. There we go. There we go. Okay. That went extremely well. It usually doesn't. It usually is like a friggin' nightmare for me. But that went extremely well. So now that aspect of the game is done. You can see some sort of an image is going to form on the screen here, which I'm actually going to fly away from. And then hopefully get an angle that you can see this. I'm at the wrong direction, aren't I? There, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Let's speed up a little. Let's slow down. Turn around. Flies, you're being absolute punks. You're not letting me see the image on the screen, and I hate you. Okay, where the heck is the image? Okay, there it is. So, what is the image? It looks like, a mouth. Why are we flying into this mouth? I don't know. Oh, dear God. Alrighty then. So, and it says, and there was morning and evening the sixth day. I did not give this earthen matrix of his so readily. I waited for him alone. You sisters taught me to defile myself, to fill myself with animals, unclean and strange flesh, travelers and minstrels, dreamers and drug dealers. What the hell? But no, this is going to like a skip here, but the animals have long since decayed in your parasitic garden. Their noxious soup flowing out into the field. I am the only scareless, unseptic vestal that's left. The last Eve, the only ark. And we're that girl now. And we're still in this room, by the way. Things are still really trippy as balls. The music's changed quite a bit, though. And I think that kind of gives you an idea of what to expect from Selfie, guys. I didn't mean to do that. That was funny. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, because this is definitely a game it's about the journey. It's about what it's going to make you feel. It's definitely about whatever it is you're going to draw from this game, and then finally getting to that conclusion, that end, seeing it for yourself, receiving that message, and then proceeding with however you want with the game, either by leaving a message or responding to other people, whatever you may feel, guys. It's definitely a unique indie game. I think it kind of obviously doesn't really have much of a game aspect to it as much as it is just, I think, a social experiment with art and a message behind it, a little bit of a story behind it about a horrific event. But the game aspects to it obviously lacks, but that's not what this game is all about, guys. It's about that social experiment aspect. So, I mean, if you're somebody who's into that kind of thing, if you're into that kind of trying games for different types of emotions, for trying different types of genres, for just seeing what is out there and trying something unique, you may like Selfie, guys. Personally, I find the game to be a little strange, but, you know, at least I kind of got the message a little bit, and I had some interaction with people. If obviously I have no idea what their response will be to my messages, that is never received. You only get pretty much one-way messages in this game. So just keep that in mind when you play this game, guys. It's very unique, it's very different, and can be disturbing given the context of it, guys. So I want to say big thanks to the developer and publisher for a chance to check out this title. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and share, guys, and I'll keep bringing you awesome indie games, guys. If you really enjoyed this video, maybe consider hitting up that tip jar. If you're feeling generous of heart, all tips go to improving the channel or future giveaways. Till next time, guys, play more indie games.